Oh, kia ora folks, thanks for taking the time to come and check out today's vlog. I was reading an article from McKinsey the other day, and it posed the question, because we live in a world with so much information, why is it that we seem to be really busy but sometimes feel we're not getting a lot of stuff done? So I thought today I'd talk a little bit about meetings and meeting rhythms and some things to think about. So, with all the endless meetings we seem to have, emails, messaging, we just seem to be doing a whole lot of stuff but not always being productive about it. So today I want to talk to you about more how we can collaborate rather than just share information. Now, that got me thinking, are the meetings that we have on a day-to-day basis really necessary? Now, don't get me wrong, for a guy that spends most of his day in meetings with business owners, that's what I do. So you might think it's a little bit ironic that I'm questioning around meetings and the need for meeting rhythms. But I think the important thing to think about here is how do we get the results that we're after? Now, communication is vital, but sometimes I don't think we're communicating, we're just talking. So let me explain the three things that McKinsey's talked about. In a McKinsey study, they found that 80% of executives say they frequently find themselves spending way too much time on pointless interactions. And I think the key there is pointless. So they suggest think about your interactions and your meeting rhythms in three ways. Number one is around decision makings, when the decisions might be a little bit complex or uncertain. Number two, business as normal, just part of that work routine. And number three is information sharing. So let me talk about the three separately. So first of all, when it comes to decision making, I'm not talking about day-to-day decisions, but sometimes when there's a level of complexity or uncertainty. So the first thing is be clear on who actually needs to have a voice. Who do you need to talk to? Who do you need to get information from? Who do you need to listen to? But also be clear who is the final decision maker. Who makes that final decision? And if the decision is just a standard work process or business as normal, then I would be suggesting put some protocols or guidelines in place that you don't need a meeting for a meeting's sake. You can be guided by the systems or protocols. The second thing to think about is meetings that are more business as normal or routine. It might be just a daily check-in, it might be talking about new goods or services. It's just that day-to-day stuff that we typically do. I think the key here though, reading the McKinsey report, is the question to ask yourself is how do you empower your team to actually make decisions themselves and be able to come to the table with solutions as opposed to be having the meeting to start that process. So really it's a question, how can we get people to think and act on their own as opposed to having to tell them what to do? And it's very important to be clear on what is the purpose of the meeting and that people come well prepared. There's nothing more frustrating when you go to a meeting where material's been sent out previously and no one's even bothered to read it, let alone think about it. The purpose of the meeting should be accepting the information, but more importantly, questioning it and talking about the opportunities. And the third thing that McKinsey talked about was just simple information sharing. And I asked the question, do you actually need to have a meeting at all? If it's just simple information sharing, are there other ways that we can do that? So as we head into 2022, look at your meeting rhythm, look at how your meetings are taking place, look at how your people are interacting in those meetings. Do they have the ability to make decisions? Is it collaborative or is it just more talking? Because the businesses that I work with that seem to find that sweet spot around communication get very, very strong results. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, all that sort of stuff. And until next time, catch you later. Bye-bye.